Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. You've arrived at the pond, the murky, gross-looking pond in the depression that the pond radiates magic. The depression is difficult to climb down into, but doable. No check required. Just there's not a hasty egress, you know.
Mm-hmm. I ponder at the top of this indentation for a moment, thinking what to do. How much of my shit to waste? How powerful was the magic?
She said it was moderate.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Devon?
I mean, I can breathe underwater, but I'm trying to avoid getting all mucky and gross. I've got a potion of sweet water, but it seems like a waste until I can make my own. And like having one lets you make one, or makes it easier to research one, so it's probably better to hang on to. Perhaps using fabricate might be a good option. It's a lot of MP, but I think I'll use fabricate to like dig a trench. Removing, or to like make a culvert to like direct water away from this pool.
Well, the pool's at the bottom of this depression, so you would have to do some pretty good digging to drain it.
Yeah, does that not seem eminently feasible?
It is definitely feasible. It's just a matter of time and effort. You have the magic in order to make this happen, and if you wanted to put... I haven't done the math, but off the top of my head, with your spells, I imagine it would be a few days, probably.
Yeah.
If the depression's like 20 feet deep, that means you need to dig like a 20-foot trench out to somewhere and make like another hole that's deep enough to collect water. I don't know how long it would take you to dig a 20-foot trench. I assume you could do it relatively easily, but probably take a few days worth of spell casting.
I want to do a few days. I will cast a clairvoyance, pulling a crystal ball from my backpack, enchanting it and sending it down, hovering into the pit, whatever this is, and into the water.
Excellent.
I'm guessing the vision is probably less than 120 feet underwater, but
most definitely.
That's hopefully once it gets beneath like the scummy surface, hopefully I can see at least a little bit, at least a couple of feet.
That is the hope. And it is sort of dampened by finding that the pond is not that deep. It's maybe only 8 inches deep or so, and then you just hit a dirty, muddy, algae-filled bottom. This pond is too small for anything of substantial size to reside in or use for cover or anything at all.
In that case, the eye will hover just above the surface of the water and like just rotate and stick the lens in past the top scummy layer, right in the center of the pool where we think that magic is.
Yeah, well, it gazes in.
And do I see anything?
You just see dirty pond water. Gross.
I look around for a few minutes. There should be a source of the magic here, but...
Do you have any relevant skill checks that you would like to make here?
Well, first I'll turn to my apprentice for direction to like where the magic was.
The whole pond, all the water.
Oh. Why didn't you say
Everything.
so?
I'm sorry, Master Devon. I'm so sorry. The whole water radiates magic.
I will withdraw the eye from the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And have it hover. I guess it's hazy beyond 120 feet, so it's probably not great for getting a bird's eye view.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'll go 120 feet, which should be like up into the canopy.
Yeah, above the
Get a
trees
view
even.
overhead.
Yeah. Excellent. Make me a perception check from way up here.
Well, 20, you can do it. There we are.
Yeah. You will notice that there seems to be some smoke rising from a campfire or like a chimney or something, not too far away from here. Probably outside of that 120 feet in that zone that is a little bit hazy. You probably wouldn't be able to notice it if it wasn't this like dark smoke rising above the canopy and sort of wafting back and forth. So through the crystal ball, it's just kind of like this weird line that wavers a little bit. But you're a wise enough, smart enough man to know that that means smoke and not like, I don't know, phantom snakes or tendrils of the air.
So my clairvoyant eye will hover over the canopy towards the smoke.
Yes.
And descend on this cabin. Is it a cabin?
It is a collection of huts, might be a little bit of a generous, somewhere between tent and hut, a little bit more permanent than a tent, but still pretty rudimentary construction. There's a group of 4 of these with a much smaller one nearby as well, with a campfire settled in the middle of them. Around the campfire, you can see what appears to be 3 people, one of whom has noticed this thing in the sky and is like jabbing the others and pointing up towards this floating eyeball in the sky.
Do they look like ordinary people? Are they armed?
They
armored?
are humans. They're wearing skins and Neolithic age clothing. But otherwise than that, they look normal. They look human. It is a group of one young woman, 1 old man, and a middle-aged woman.
Yeah. I will bring the eye back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Saying as I do so to my companions, who I probably can't see because my eyes are closed.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of encampment through the woods. Do you know who lives here?
I didn't think anyone lived here. We haven't seen any people in this region.
They're wearing skins. They appear to be... No. People of the woods? What do we call them? Hobos?
Woods people? Cavemen?
Cavemen?
I don't know.
All right. Once the eye returns to me,
Mm-hmm.
I will, hopefully now it's like air dried from the scummy water.
Mm-hmm.
Return it to my bag and set off on foot towards this camp.
All right. On your way to the camp, you see people from the camp coming towards you.
Mm-hmm.
See these 3 folks led by the middle-aged woman with the the young woman and the old man behind her. And she carries in one hand a cudgel that looks like it's been studded with some sort of rocks along the outside. It almost looks like a cricket bat. It's kind of like flat and broad with like sharp rocks on the edges. And she'll hoist it over one shoulder in a confident show of strength and say to you in the common tongue, "Who goes there?"
I am Devon. Who are you?
I am Priva.
Did you roll her name? Do you have dice with names on it? Oh, you're
No, I have an inkwell that I use to fill my fountain pen, and it says Private Reserve on it, and so I just cut off the TE at the end and said her name was Priva.
Cool.
Good DMing tip for all of you people out there. If you ever need a name, just look at the stuff around you and chop something in half. There's a name.
What are you doing out here?
I could ask you the same question. You've come into my home, into my woods. What are you doing here?
Your woods. I represent Necrot. We look over this whole peninsula. So I
know the name Necrot. Why do I know that name?
I just told you. The spires of Necrot look out over this whole peninsula. I hold myself responsible for all these lands, including these woods, and there have been strange disturbances as of late. Can you tell me of the pool? Gesturing over my shoulder.
She gives you a long, hard, steady gaze, like she already knows what this pool is, and she's...
I read her mind, using my
judging you.
Sorona, my crown.
Ooh, is there a saving throw involved?
Nope. I get her surface thoughts automatically. She gets a saving throw if I torture her and use it to interrogate her. But
right. Her surface thoughts are, why the hell is this man asking about the pool? Does he know? Or is he just asking questions?
Do I know what? I say in response to her thought.
She takes a step back. You're a warlock. She looks over her shoulder. This man is dangerous. He reads minds. Stand back. And she waves them away, and they kind of scurry back 30 or 40 feet. She draws out her broad cudgel with the rocks on the sides, holding it in one hand and the other.
Don't be foolish.
She isn't foolish. She doesn't approach or attack.
I seek only to protect you and the people of Shelter Bay from whatever is disturbing these lands. Who butchered my men?
Were those your men who wandered into my lands?
Came
into my village?
Reading her mind, is it apparent to me that she?
Yeah, there are some flashbacks to her swinging her cudgel at these people, cracking bones, severing skin with the sharp rocks at the edge. It's just a quick flash of remembering the battle and the slaying.
Vaughn narrows his eyes.
Your people.
Why? Yeah.
They came into my woods. They chopped down our trees. They entered our lands. I dealt with them as need be when they came into our village. looking for our food, tipping over our baskets. It was a pleasure to slay them.
These are only your woods by my divine grace. Tell me why I should spare you.
Your divine grace? Orphia watches over us and protects us. You have no power here. Go back, warlock, before you are devoured.
Do I know what does Orphia sound familiar?
New name.
How long does it take for me to activate the Serona and Legend Lore? Is it instantaneous? Is it like a round action?
It's got to be at least a 1 round action, a full concentration.
I think my eyes like roll back into my head, or maybe like, do they like glaze over glowing white or blue or something as I commune with my artifact to Legend Lore this Orphia.
Okay. Let's see what her reaction to this is.
Yeah, this could be her opening, right? I'm clearly like channeling something. She could charge.
She rolls pretty good.
Devon has a reaction just of 1 on his charisma.
Okay, so that will move her from just almost to moves her to the threshold.
Meaning what? Meaning she was gonna be aggressive, but she hesitates because I'm so
no,
handsome.
if your charisma had been 1 higher, it would have gone from hostile to threatening. So as your eyes roll back, she sees her opening, and she breaks into a sprint and a charge, and you can hear your apprentice behind you shouting, Devon, she's coming. I suppose that will probably allow you to interrupt if you're channeling if you want, but I feel like she's gonna
I feel like I finished the channel. I think I want to know who Orphia is. I think she gets a free ambush off on Devon.
Okay. Let's do it. All right. Her stats are... Check to see if she has high strength or not. Nope. Okay. So she will make a basic attack at +3 to hit you. So she will roll a total of 12. If you are channeling and don't have your dex or defensive style.
Dex, I have an armor spell and I have a an enchanted scarab.
Then you are fine.
There's enough to that my magic deflects it. Yeah, I don't have my defensive style or my dexterity, but I think I have 13 from 5 from magic. Something seems off there. Armor is 4, and then
armor is 4. Scarab is 1.
Yeah. So my surprised AC is 16. That seems wrong, but anyways, still a miss. So she approaches, then it like off of this like layer of force over Devon, who almost doesn't appear to notice her.
That means
he spends the round channeling.
Yes. Legend lore. This gives you information about things, histories, pasts, peoples, items.
Who is Orphia? Typically, it's like a full day research thing where you like, that I've got this artifact that lets me do it once per day at will.
So, give certain information, often in some sort of cryptic form, always in some sort of cryptic form, rhyme, riddle, anagram, cipher, sign. Like the DM's supposed to just come up with these on the fucking fly and be like, here's this anagram of this thing that's happening. Here's
that's
this,
why,
you know.
That's why it's a full day spell that costs like 1,000 GP.
Ah, right. Right. It's the Be Kind to Your DM spell. Excellent. You will get the Orphia is the elder sister of Slapot. Salopt. Salopt? Salopt.
I feel like that's self-referential. Who's Salopt? Am I supposed to know that too? I do have a folklore skill. Like, am I supposed to know these names?
No, this is definitely a name that you have not heard before.
Okay. Cool.
But you know,
Initiative, I
maybe,
guess.
yeah, maybe you cannot decipher the rhyme, riddle, anagram, cipher, sign, etc. in the middle of combat.
Salopt.
So we
Can I get a
will
spelling for that, or
Salopt.
okay. Platos. I will roll initiative versus her though.
Mm-hmm. She will roll initiative versus you with her heavy cudgel. 13? I would say the cudgel's initiative 6. Slower
Okay,
than a sword.
I get a 7, but I'm using all of my attacks for maneuvers. I'm going to
Okay.
use my staff to trip her. I'm going to use my offhand to catch her cudgel. And I think that's all I've got this round.
Staff to trip, offhand to catch cudgel.
Yeah, so trip first.
Okay.
But that's not working.
Is it still not working?
No, there's 13. I've got pull trip pulled up. Let's see. If he hits, makes an opposed strength against their dexterity or strength. So it's a 13 a hit.
Yes, you don't need to. There's no penalty to the hit. It's just a regular attack.
Just a regular attack.
Okay. Then 13 will strike. And
And then
opposed
we-
strength.
Yeah. Their dex or strength, whichever's better.
Ooh, okay. It is their strength. At 15. Oh, one shy.
All right, so I swipe out her legs with cudgel. I guess I'll like offensive disarm as well. Like
With the
don't-
offhand?
Yeah, I mean, I declared it a disarm. I thought I would catch it as she strikes, but let me see if there's a significant difference.
I think defensive you just declare before your turn, and then
Yeah,
you
so
can
I
do
can
on
just
any
roll my
incoming
I can
thing.
just roll my disarm now.
Yeah.
So let's see. I make an attack roll.
Against AC 20. And they roll against AC 16. However, they are prone, so I feel like giving you a... if you get a 4-point bonus for using a two-handed weapon or a weapon in two hands, I feel like you should get at least a +2 bonus for someone being prone. So we'll give you a +2 bonus.
Oh, God. Not working. $22. So I succeed. She gets a roll, so it's quite possible for her to roll lower than that.
And she still
It's
has
still
to hit AC 16, though.
Yes.
So she fails to hit AC 16.
So I trip her with my staff, and I think I catch the cudgel as she's falling.
You have
And
disarmed this woman.
I lower it to her. She still has got an action this turn, but I say, "Take me to your serpent."
Wow. Give me a charisma check here, Devon. You have easily disarmed her, knocked her down, didn't kill her, showing some level of restraint.
Oh, natural 20. I think this tribe is going to join the fold, join the Empire of Necrot. I'm her warlock now.
Yeah. She slowly gets to her feet and gives you a deep, respectful bow and says, "You have bested me. You are clearly more than match for me. I shall take you to Orphia."
I flip the cudgel in my hand, sort of feeling its weight as a weapon.
It's heavy.
Is it a one-handed or two-handed weapon?
It's a two-handed weapon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I think I'll hand it back to her, or hold the hilt back out to her.
She seems surprised that you would rearm her so quickly, and comments as such.
I ignore it. I say, I'm sorry my people raided your baskets. I would offer to compensate you, but I feel like the debt has already been more than repaid in blood.
Okay.
To be honest, I was hoping to read the bone runes myself.
Wordlessly, she leads you back to that same pond you saw just 140 feet away, 150 feet away. You arrive. It looks much the same. Your assistant follows you. Your guide follows you. And she will point to the scummy pond in the middle and say, "There, deep within those waters, lives Orphia."
How often does she emerge?
Rarely. We bring her food. We make her sacrifices. We do not see when she comes or goes or how she does so, but she watches over us, protects us. Usually.
Is there a way to summon her?
She looks at the guide and your apprentice and goes, "Yes, there is."
I make a pointed sidelong glance to her companions. She requires human flesh?
No. Animal will do just fine. We make what offerings we can. Vegetables, nuts, fruits, berries, meats, fish. No shellfish.
I suppose I will carefully descend towards the pool. You said it was like a steep drop?
Yeah, it's
how far?
Not quite vertical, but almost vertical, and then it shallows out kind of quickly. So the first 5 feet are pretty tough, and then the remaining 15 feet are significantly easier until it's practically flat.
I'll go ahead and burn a fabricate spell to make a staircase down. So this process probably takes 9 minutes.
You can hear these new savage people mutter under their breath as you convert trees into staircases before their very eyes.
If possible, I'll do as before and carve it into the earth.
Okay.
This reduces the AoE from a cubic yard to a cubic foot. But I think we calculated that I can do a couple, or it was like 2+ flights of stairs per casting.
Something like that.
Just like based, right? We like calculated the surface area, and so it just like etches into the grain, into the ground here, like some, like compacts it into like some compacted dirt steps. You said it was 5 feet down. How far down?
20 feet total.
20 feet. So that seems about like one fabricate worth of steps.
And you only really need steps for the first like 5 to 10 feet. And the remainder is negligible difficulty. Yeah. So with no trouble at all, you create a stairway down. They mutter and murmur at the impressive magic performed before them and keep a distance from you as you descend the stairs.
And I call out Orphia. And hope that it may be this easy, but perhaps it will not.
Call out to Orphia.
And I stick the end of my staff in and like perturb the water, like stir the water.
So
is my ESP still going?
It's been 2 minutes plus a round of combat, so 3 minutes plus a round of talking, 4 minutes, and then it was only 150 feet, so 5 or 6 minutes long. I think that's probably
lasts 1 round per level. I don't know what level the
I think it's your level. So
okay, so there should be a few minutes left. I would like to extend the ESP into the pool to see if I can sense the creature there.
Yeah, you swirl it with your staff.
Yeah,
and you notice that your staff doesn't clip the bottom of the pond at all when you swirl it, like as if the bottom has shifted or moved. And as you push the ESP into the water, you can detect some sort of serpent down there. The thoughts are pretty empty at this point. It's sort of just a lurking presence that reveals itself in a serpentine form.
The water's not like corrosive or anything, right? I can prod my staff down in there without risks.
There's no smells coming off of it that would indicate that it's corrosive, and there is what appears to be some sorts of algae growing in it. You can see like dead leaves floating in it, so the leaves haven't corroded away or anything.
But it seems like it goes down, like there's like a portal or something.
When you looked in, it just looked like a flat, there's just ground at the bottom. And now that you're stirring the staff, as you stir, there's like some variation in the height, and you would have expected to have hit the bottom of the pond by now, and yet your swirling staff does not.
Yeah.
And there's a presence in the water.
Yeah. Those men you ate, I say, your latest sacrifice was from me. I'm sort of feeling with ESP to like gauge whether she can hear me, whether she's like reacting to my words, or whether it like doesn't.
You can hear your words reflected in the ESP, as in like the words are coming to the mind of the creature who is understanding them, almost as if they're reciting them in their mind as you speak them. So you're definitely being heard.
Yeah.
The water begins to bubble a little bit. Bubbles trickle to the surface, pop, Not a lot, just a small amount of bubbling going on.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever is within is not making any steps to present itself.
Yeah. Devon will scoff and walk off
Okay.
in search of a sacrifice. I think what he's going to do is go back to Shelter Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra is used to his behavior and probably follows after him without being told to. The messenger is probably like, what is going on? And eventually gets the
Messenger
picture.
is sticking with you. He's not staying around with this woman who cudgeled his friends to death.
Yeah. And I will head back to Shelter Bay to collect some goats or something to throw into the pond.
Yeah. By the time you get back to Shelter Bay, the sun is going down. It's not completely set, but it is getting on towards evening. The other people that you saw, that you met, did not follow you. They did not come.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and this is when your guide will ask you on your way back, Lord Devon, I don't mean to question your judgment, but why did you not slay the creature right there? The woman. Why let her live and walk away?
Is it true what she said? Did the people of Shelter Bay raid her village?
She is the only surviving witness to that occurrence, as far as I know.
I have seen her thoughts. I think she spoke the truth of it. Perhaps murdering them was a bit extreme, but one has a right to defend their possessions, do they not? You came into my house and kicked over my table, I would slay you. Perhaps I wouldn't leave your bones strewn about. But I shrug.
Certainly, death is not warranted by simply knocking over a basket. That doesn't seem like the punishment fits the crime.
Perhaps not. I may need to think on this more.
Uh-oh.
She's probably going to need a snack soon. I will need to think on this more. Is there a magistrate of Shelter Bay?
Just the architect.
Did you know there were people in these woods?
I did not. No, none of us knew.
I mean, clearly someone knew to seek them out and kick their baskets.
You don't think they just found it by accident? Certainly, our people would never do anything malicious intentionally.
Maybe not those that are still alive.
Well, at this point, the guide stops questioning your wisdom and judgment, and just follows along. But you arrive back at Shelter Bay. You can collect goats. If you would like to return to the
I think I will return after dark. I will procure a torch and a couple of goats, which I will lead back to the pool.
Okay. You return to the pool, your apprentice following hot on your heels.
Does the messenger stay in Shelter Bay?
The messenger has already led you to the place. He asks if you can find your way back there, or if he needs come with you, but he doesn't want to get in your way or be a liability.
Or find himself butchered and turned into some...
No, I'm happy to help. I just think I would be, in the way. Politely excuses themselves.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't need him.
Yeah.
All right. Get a couple of goats and head back, and a torch, and I'll head back to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Well after dark at this point, I think.
Mm-hmm. It is dark.
And Devon will approach the pool.
You can approach the pool. You don't see the woman there, Priva, or any of her folks around. It's just you and Cassandra and a couple of goats.
And I think Cassandra waits at the top of the staircase while Devon leads the goats down the stairs. He does have an animal handling proficiency.
Not a problem.
He is a shepherd. I think I can shepherd these goats to their death.
Some would say it's what you're born to do.
And I will approach the edge. Approach the pool. I have some other offerings in my pack. Some frankincense, I suppose, that I will sprinkle about. And light on fire with the torch. A moth pheromone sack. This is that like glitter moth or whatever. I don't know what that probably isn't good to add to the incense. I'll leave that out of this. All right, so lighting the frankincense. I leave a pile of copper coins, my copper coins with my face on them. And the goats. I'll leave one goat alive. The other, I will draw a silver dagger across its throat and kick it into the pool.
So you leave one alive, and the other is butchered.
The other is okay. And thrown, probably still thrashing, into the water to draw the serpent's attention.
Well, the water begins to bubble once more. This time, more quickly, more thoroughly, until the bubbling becomes almost a boiling. The temperature doesn't change. It's not steaming or anything, but the amount of bubbling equates to something that looks boiling. And then from within emerges a serpentine figure. Not unlike Platos. Certainly larger than when you first saw Platos. Probably still larger than he is today.
Isn't she his younger sister, or was this just his sister?
He is the younger one.
Okay.
Something like...
So it's like a cobra?
Cobra-esque, yes. It comes up to the hooded part.
How tall is that?
From the base of the neck to the top of the head is probably measurement. This is maybe like a foot and a half on it, so larger than a human head neck combo, but it's mostly neck with a smallish head.
And that's all that emerges from the pool?
Yes, the rest of it remains submerged below.
Okay. Right. Holding torch in one hand, leaning against my staff. Say,
you summoned me?
I am Devon. I bring you offerings, great Orphia.
I know you, Devon.
Yes, I believe I know your younger brother.
Yes. Have you come to find me and discard he?
That remains to be seen. What are you doing out here?
Responding to your summons.
I mean, in this pool. Is this your home? Is this where you want your home to be?
I think you would best understand this as my front door. Would you like to step in to the house? It says as its head begins to sort of twist.
I admit I was tempted. It's not like trying to hypnotize me or anything, is it?
I haven't made you roll any dice yet.
No.
That just might mean the hypnotism effect takes a moment to set in.
Yeah. But I think it might be safer for me up here. Is there something you want from me? You would ask from me? Did you...
Why do you humor my younger brother? Why do you feed him, give him praise, pile coinage at his door, make your people speak his name in hushed whispers?
He has brought prosperity to Necrot. As his serpentine body grows, so do the spires of Necrot slither up towards the sky.
I will make you far more wealthy than he could ever imagine.
Are you jealous? If you align yourself with me, I will see that and look over this peninsula. I will see that the people of Shelter Bay will whisper your name and bring you coin and food.
Would have me play second fiddle to my younger, incompetent, smaller, cowardly brother. The snake who lives in a well.
Are you saying you'd like to return? You'd like to return to Necrot to usurp your brother?
Yes, let me replace him. I am worthy of your time, your attention, your devotion, Devon. Devote yourself to me. I can see the riches of the world find their way to your doorstep.
So far, all you've brought my people is death. Was it you who arranged their bones?
No.
Or was that the savages?
The savages, the primitives, who know only how to work wood and not stone nor metal. Feed my body, and I shall feed your soul.
It will be done, but before I cast your brother aside, I must see your worth. Enjoy these tokens of our burgeoning friendship. And I think tell me, do you enjoy your pool this way? I say, looking down at it. the
It
algae
is
and the
as
scum.
I design. And you can see that this snake not quite shimmies its shoulders, right? Because it doesn't really have shoulders. And the water begins to clear around it and go from this like gross, murky color to crystal clear water. And you can see the rest of the snake body like descends into this shaft that is now at the center of the pool, going down into darkness.
And
can
I make like a save versus spell or something to I guess mechanically disbelieving the illusion, but more so like I'm wondering if this is an illusion versus
you can take a full round action to disbelieve the illusion.
Yeah, is it an illusion or is it a portal?
We'll find out. Well, you didn't disbelieve anything. It's definitely one of the two.
Wait, I didn't even roll anything.
Didn't you roll 0 successes?
Does it say? I see you rolling D2. It doesn't actually roll it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I wasn't scrolled down on the way. Yep, I do not succeed.
Yes.
Okay.
Either an illusion or a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not both.
Yeah. Devon was gauging whether he should pour the sweet water to clean up this pool, but it seems like she likes it how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Devon will back away, excuse himself if Orphia doesn't say anymore.
Yeah. She simply descends into the water, shimmies a little bit more, turns it murky once again, and once her head has dipped below the surface, the tail like slips up and starts to like drag things into the pond.
Okay. Devon will like bow deeply and reverently,
mm-hmm.
and return to Shelter Bay. There he will proclaim that in the woods they will find a pool in which resides the demigod Orphia, and they are to bring offerings to please this serpent in order to ensure the prosperity of their settlement.
Well, they will follow your orders. You have a serpent in Necrot, so this checks with what they know.
Mm-hmm. And I think Devon is going to leave this as is. So he'll leave Orphia where she is.
Mm-hmm.
He will leave the people of Shelter Bay to give her tribute.
Mm-hmm.
And he will see what happens. If Shelter Bay is more prosperous than Necrot, perhaps Devon may need to reconsider his alignment with Platos. But for now, he will test this Orphia and see what she does.
Excellent.
Devon may stick around Shelter Bay for a little while, offering his services if there's any of the construction that his magical aid would speed along.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually he'll make his way back to Necrot.
Okay. Back to Necrot we go.
I don't know that I don't know that he'll actively do anything with the primitive tribe.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully they are impressed enough that they may think fondly of Devon and Necrot.
Mm-hmm.
And if the people of Shelter Bay don't bring it up again, I don't know that Devon is interested in getting any more justice.
Okay.
I don't know how. I think we've probably just started a code of laws or something. This seems like a gray area where it's like she was right to defend herself, but butchering them and arranging their bones into ancient runes is maybe a bit far.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna go butcher them? That's just violence. Just begets more violence. So
yeah.
Okay. Back you go, from whence you came.
Yeah. Interesting.
So you can get back to Necrot and give it time for these things to take effect.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit then, because some days later, probably less than a week. I should probably randomize this, figure out exactly when. Yeah, 2 days later, when you're on your way back to Necrot and you're like halfway there, there will be a large earthquake that shakes the land. The ground trembles. You can see waves rolling through it. It lasts only a few minutes, but in that moment, the ground splits, trees crack, things fall, and then it all goes quiet.
Hey.
She pulling on your cords?
Headphones, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think Devon will look around and keep walking if nothing immediately alerts him.
Yeah.
There's probably no way to discern the source of this quake.
Yeah, that's fine. The source of the quake does not appear itself. If you just head back to Necrot, then you will be alerted some 3 days later, that that earthquake seemed to make a huge crack along the side of the cliff where Shelter Bay is, that has enabled the workers to more easily work through the area. Like the whole cliff face just cracked through the middle, splitting a good 3 feet open. And so now people can actually crawl in and chisel down rather than having to pull everything out all the way. Significantly improving their crafting time.
So that news arrives sometime later.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they've probably been paying tribute to their serpent and being rewarded accordingly.
Do you bring up this meeting, this visitation with your own serpent?
I think I will. Not immediately, but do we have regular conversations? Do I have to seek him out?
He's got his temple that he chills in. Easy access.
Yeah. So I'll approach his temple, bringing whatever standard offering there is. So I think maybe the people regularly give offerings, or I can intercept someone who's about to bring him an offering and hand deliver it myself.
Absolutely. Yes.
I will, yeah. And I will say, Platos, I believe I met your sister.
Which one? I have many siblings.
Orphia lives in a pool on the peninsula.
He hisses at you when he hears her name. What has she said? What has she done? She is a monster.
Is she now? Well, she is located in a pool out on the peninsula. The people of Shelter Bay have begun to worship her. Why do you say she's a monster?
She craves power in any form she can get it. She has no restrictions on what she will do, consume, devour, how she will use it. No code of ethics. She lusts for glory and greatness.
And you are different?
Yes, I am. I seek to improve the lives of those who help me. I do not use or abuse your people. They make offerings to me, and I make offerings to them.
Well, I suppose we will see how fare the people of Shelter Bay. I have seen Necrot's future, And I know that together, you and I will rise in prosperity. The fate of Sheltered Bay and Orphia remain to be seen.
She will tempt you. She will beguile you. She will attempt to charm you. Do not listen to her. Do not fall prey to her ways.
Perhaps I will charm her. We will see. We'll see what she does with Sheltered Bay.
You can sense on the surface Platos's discontentment with this. But he does not warn you off again and instead retreats deep within his little domain to hide away.
He's only got the one house. He can't look over this whole, right? He can't have both towns, can he?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Do we want to take a break, or do we want to wrap things up?
Well, we're at the point where we should do one or the other. This is a nice ending spot for this little arc here that we've done. If we want to, it sounds like we're not also going to be continuing this immediately. We're going to take some time to see how things develop before moving further on this storyline. So
yeah, I don't think there will be any. I think we'll see, we'll leave Orphia in Shelter Bay and let them patronize her and see what becomes of them. If they start surpassing the Krob, then maybe Devon will reconsider his allegiance to Platos. But most likely she will remain where she is. Devon may visit her from time to time, may build up her shrine. But for now, Platos will remain in the Krob.
Okay. Well then, all that remains would be if there's any other spells or any other things that you might want to do or have done.
I do need to recruit a librarian, and I might need Drexel's help in this matter. But
how would Drexel help you recruit a librarian?
Maybe I just need his altar. Maybe some extra planar powers. I might need to contact other plane to do this, or maybe not. So do we want to do more this session, or what are you feeling?
No, I would put a cap on it right now. I'm pretty satisfied with our progress today.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's call it here.
Good stuff.
So this has been Dicing with Death. We will be back not next week.
Yeah, right? I am on vacation until the 20th, so perhaps the 23rd. I believe next week next Wednesday you're doing Tides of Death.
Yes.
And then probably the following week we can be back to Dicing with Death.
Great. I will put it on the schedule right now so no one forgets. By which I mean so I don't forget. And the people don't forget. Dicing with Death. Roughly at a regular time, plus or minus scheduling necessities.
Noon, preferably Pacific.
Noon Pacific? Oh, much better. Love it. Absolutely love it. Cool. Well then, that will wrap us up. Ryan, anything to say before we go?
I don't think so. Thanks for watching. Anything to say, kid? She wants to yank my headphones off.
Pull the cord. Hug it.
Eat it.
Excellent. then we will go, and we will be back tomorrow. Well, we won't be back, but tomorrow there will be some Tombs of Scoria. This weekend I am going to be out, so there will be no Embers of the Wilds or anything else because I am going on vacation this weekend. So,
Fun.
Yeah. That's it, everybody. We'll be back later. Bye-bye.
Bye.